Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're back with another relaxing, soothing, life-changing experience, okay? Today, I want to talk about morals and pretty much the general public's absolute misconception of what they are. So most people, when they think about morals, right, they'll go, well, morals is like a set of rules that you set for yourself, and it's kind of like that, right? So morals are not like, okay, I will never stab someone in the back. Okay, I will never leak someone's private information. I will never be disrespectful. Morals are not that. That's not what morals are. Morals are just one specific rule that you apply to yourself. So like for me, it's like just don't hurt people. This is in our general society. I don't really care myself. If I go up and punch someone, I'm not gonna like have some moral condemnation of myself. But like as a society, we need to not hurt people. That's and on the flip side of that, we should generally be looking to try to improve everybody's happiness. This is my general rule, okay? This makes morals super easy for me. Because instead of making a specific rule of like, I'm not gonna say the R word, okay? Because of some random subjective sense of whatever you think is cool. Oh, instead of saying, I'm not gonna say the R word because it's a slur. No, what you do now is, I'm not gonna say the R word because it decreases someone's general happiness. Or it could. And I'm not willing to take that risk. Or you say, I'm in favor of XYZ policy because it's going to increase the general happiness of people in my society. You don't want to just make it like, okay, I'm in favor of this policy because I think it sounds cool. I'm in favor of also not saying this word or not treating these people in this way because, well, I don't know, these just feel cool as well. What you do is you look at those things and go, okay, do these things increase people's general happiness, and also, do they hurt people? You say yes or no, and then you say, by my axiomatic belief, this is right or wrong. Otherwise, you'll find yourself being so inconsistent in so many ways. Also, by the way, it doesn't just have to be my system. Your system could be, if it hurts all life at all, then it's bad. If it hurts only me, then it's bad. Generally, I would say those beliefs are bad right there because they work against what I want. So that's why I condemn those moral systems or whatever, because they're anti-me, dog. But this is only within the context of our society. In a completely different society, I think I'd have completely different beliefs, right? This is where we get into that funny little word I just used earlier. Axiomatic. So you can never justify any belief. It's always going to be like under the context of something, right? Let's back up for a second, okay? If you're in a conversation with someone and this person is like philosopher Dark Warrior X22, okay? And you say murder is bad, the philosopher is going to absolutely destroy you. Like, especially if they're like a nihilist, okay? They're going to melt you all over the place. Here's how to beat that argument, okay? I'm just going to give you the argument that they're going to say. They're going to say, why is murder bad? And then you're going to say, because it's taking someone's life. And then they're going to say, why is that bad? And then you're going to say, because it doesn't, it's just bad, dude. I can't justify my belief at all, but it's just bad. And then the philosopher has you looking pretty fucking stupid. So, I mean, the way that you combat this argument, one, there is no like fire for sure way to combat this argument, but I mean, the only way that you can really respond to it is it's axiomatic. There's no way for me to justify this belief. Like, it's impossible. It's just my preference, and under this preference, this is what I want to happen. Okay, so say that your preference is murder is wrong, right? Under that preference, then you can start discussing things like, how murder should be legislated, should it get the death penalty or whatever. But if you're having some sort of like death penalty conversation, you can't start the conversation with non-aligning axioms. If you start it with, I think that we should preserve all life, and then the other guy starts the conversation with, I think we should just preserve ourselves, it's impossible to have the discussion because you don't agree on axioms. You don't agree on what makes things good or bad. So there's no way for you to agree on if murder's bad, murder's not bad, how it should be legislated at all. This is why there is no such thing as a correct normative statement. Now we get into normative and descriptive statements, which I'm kind of straying away from morals here. I'm getting way more into like epistemology or some shit. So a descriptive claim about me is that I have terminal autism, but a normative claim about me is that I should kill myself. One is true and can be proven under the context of our society, and the other is impossible to know if it's true or not. A descriptive claim says the Nintendo Switch is red and blue on each side. It's a descriptive claim. It's something that we can prove, right? It's something that we can know. It's just about the object, the thing that we're talking about. But a normative claim is saying what ought to happen to the object. What should we do to this object, to this Nintendo Switch, to this kid named Ambrose? It's impossible to make a factual normative statement. It's just impossible. All right. So now that we've pretty much gone through how to like have a moral discussion, now we're going to get into some philosophies, okay? So let's start off. Nihilism. The belief that all morals are like unjustifiable and all religious values are unjustifiable. I disagree with this one because people have preferences for their beliefs, and I feel like that in and of itself is a justification. If you want to say their beliefs aren't true, like there's no such thing as objective morality, then sure. But if you're trying to make the argument that there's no justification for any moral belief, then no. All right, next up would be determinism. This isn't really like a philosophy, but it explains why people do the things that they do. So determinism is pretty much the explanation of events that pertains to the lack of free will in humans. And I totally agree with this, right? Think about it. Why do you do anything? Think about your political stance real quick. How did you get it? How did you get it? Did you just think of it? Were you taught all the facts and then came out with that certain political ideology? If you think about it, why has the southeastern region of the United States consistently remained conservative, and areas that are liberal remained liberal over the past whatever years? It's because your environment influences. Why do people that are born poor typically stay poor and people that are rich typically stay rich? Because your environment influences. You have almost no free will. I feel like the best argument that I can give here for determinism is that there are people with different beliefs. Like simply as that. If determinism was wrong, then everyone would have the same beliefs. But no, people are influenced, their beliefs are influenced by their environment. And if I were to hear this theory and be like a 30 IQ person, I would be like, oh, well, that's not me because I have completely separate beliefs in my entire area. But no, it's exactly the opposite because my environment entails the time of the internet. And where did I get those beliefs? The internet. That's certainly an environment, in my opinion. All right, next up is deontology. It's the belief that acts themselves are wrong. Like murder is wrong in all cases. Like even if someone was holding a gun to your head and you were to murder someone else, then they say that's still wrong. That's a deontologist belief. It is a very consistent way to go about things, but I think it's pretty consistently bad, right? It doesn't really account for extreme cases. If someone was holding a gun to my head and was telling me to do something horrible, I'm probably going to do something horrible. It also kind of subscribes to objective morality, which I think is almost injustifiable. It might be true, honestly. It might be consistently bad. That might be the moral system of our universe, but I just fail to believe it. All right, next up would be my favorite one, or my second favorite one. I love determinism, but my second favorite one, consequentialism. The morality of an action is determined by the consequences of that action. So, for instance, you swing a baseball bat. Instead of hitting a baseball, you hit a fucking mommy. Under my personal axiom that we shouldn't try to hurt people and that we should maximize people's happiness, this is bad. I don't care if you were trying to hit a baseball, this is bad. I don't care if you had positive intentions of smacking a home run and fucking just knocking it out of the park, doing everything correctly, fucking a bitch when you get home. Doesn't matter to me in my moral system, right? It's all based on what happens at the end. But hold up, before you call me an insane person, hold up, back up a second. In our actual real world society, I think we should condemn people's intentions, okay? Because condemning people's intentions leads to people having better intentions, which leads to better consequences. So in a roundabout way, I still am that consistent consequentialist, but at the same time, it's a good idea to condemn people's intentions. But in a hypothetical world, or just even in the real world, consequences are the most consistent thing to go by. Intentions are easily fabricated, arbitrary, and just kind of unreliable. All right, I'm gonna squeeze one more segment in here before I end the episode. So I'll give my first controversial take here. There is no point in punishment. Some might say, well, hey, punishment is only supposed to be for rehabilitating people. Yes, and I totally agree with that. That's why I'm a rehabilitation guy, because punishment only makes sense when it's for rehabilitating people. Punishment just to punish people makes zero sense. It's only for whoever's punishing that person's ego for like just for them to feel good. All right, honestly, I had a lot of fun recording this. This is probably something that no one wants to hear about. I did say in one of my previous videos, like, I could go on and on about philosophy for like hours. Like, this video could be 2 hours long if I wanted to, but I got school tomorrow. So yeah, if you have like terminal brain disease and you somehow want me to like do Morals 102, then yeah, please drop a like and a comment saying so. But if you enjoyed the video in general, just drop a sub. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace, and stay dank. Bye.